Hi everyone, this is a different video than one I've ever done before. I don't think I've ever done a book haul before, and I wouldn't necessarily say I'm the most prolific reader. I'm very much aware that I should read more. I don't tend to read fiction. I don't necessarily enjoy fiction, so if I read, I tend to read like self-help kind of stuff, which is fine. Or my other thing that I read is cookbooks. And cookbooks are, they're the thing I buy, even more so than makeup, that ends up making me look like a crazy person, because I'm gonna say over 100, and that's probably a conservative estimate, because I'm a foodie, I love to eat, and I quite like to cook, and I'm learning to bake. One of my goals for 2018 is to become a better baker, because I'm not the best at that. I'm not a bad cook, because you can kind of just chuck stuff in and kind of taste as you go, whereas baking, it's kind of science and you're reliant on all sorts of kind of chemical reactions for things to do what they're supposed to do. So I haven't necessarily always been the best baker, but I'd like to improve that. But the cookbook thing, I buy them, I can't help it. And so I have a few here that I'm going to share with you that I just picked up recently. So the way it works for me is, if it's a cookbook that I think I'm going to really like the pictures, or I'm going to use, or just one that I feel like I need to have a physical copy of, I buy a physical copy. Very often I will check out Amazon's Kindle deals, and if they have something that's on there for like 99p or 1.99, I buy those on Kindle, just because sometimes they're nice to just flick through electronically. So what I have and what I'm going to talk about is physical copies, and I have them all in, well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, is that right? Can I count? 6 books in a pile here that I'm going to show you, and yeah, I'm going to show you. So the first one is a bit of an odd one, really, for me, not necessarily one I thought that I would buy. It is called New York Christmas, and it is by two people whose names I'm gonna butcher, Lisa Nischlag and Lars Wentrop at the top there. So this is a book that it's like part recipe book, part storybook, and it has all of these beautiful recipes, but also beautiful pictures of New York. I've never been to New York. It always looks really beautiful, like photos always make it look really beautiful, although obviously I understand that any big city has beautiful things and not so beautiful things. Living as close as I do to London and spending as much time as I do there, I know that nothing is perfect. But I just thought this book was particularly nice. I think it was on offer. I think I paid maybe £12 for it. I don't know. I might put a little annotation in here if I can find it in my Amazon account, just so you know. But it's just beautiful. It's a really nice book. There's a bunch of just beautiful, you know, people in New York, and just beautiful photography, like the tree at Rockefeller Center, and a bunch of pie recipes, and there's an awesome looking mac and cheese recipe, and so it just looked like a really nice combination for Christmas of food and pretty. So I picked that one up. And I'd never heard of it. I just stumbled across it on Amazon one day and ended up with it. The next one, this has been out in the States for a while, and for some reason it only recently released over here in the last few weeks, month or so. I've had this little stack of books for a while ready to film, and I just haven't got to it. But the next one is Cravings by Chrissy Teigen. I really like Chrissy Teigen. She seems like a real person, and that's rare. Still, somehow, it's still rare to see celebrities who just say what they think and don't take any shit. And I really like that about her. I think she's hilarious. She also likes to eat, and this recipe book has some amazing recipes in it. And it's like gorgeous pictures, because she's so stunningly beautiful. And I just skipped past a picture of her, and it was just like, I mean, that's a good example. Like, look at that. Like her and John and a dog, and it's just John Legend, the singer, her husband. Sorry, I said that like I knew them personally. I don't, obviously. But it's just a really nice book, and nothing is crazy complicated. Like, it's real food. It's not all diet stuff, and it's real. It's like a real, you know, a real recipe book for people who actually eat real food, and some of it does have like a healthier twist to it, which is great. But it's just, yeah, it's just a really nice recipe book, and I actually see myself making stuff from this book over time, just because it's real food. It isn't, you know, it isn't air. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are so many books that you see that are just, it's mystery ingredients, or it's stuff that, I don't know, stuff that I don't want to eat. And I'll eat most things, but yeah, so really happy to have this one. I've been waiting for a long time to be able to get like a hard copy version of it, so excited to have that. Excited about this mac and cheese here. Like, look at that. It's all of the beige, and all of my favourite food is beige. So, that one. Have that one. Next up, this is Feasts by Sabrina Galore. This was a complete impulse buy, and I picked this up because when I was browsing Amazon it was £6, and that seemed like an insanely good deal to me, because it should be 20, so good deal. And it says here, feasts for every occasion from the best-selling Middle Eastern chef. And so it's a beautiful book. Like, I don't know how well it'll pick up, but this is kind of holographic in the text there, and it's all Persian, Middle Eastern food, and it just all looks so yummy and so brightly coloured. And it's not a cuisine I'm all that familiar with, so for me, part of the reason I decided I would get it, other than the fact that it was a bargain, was that actually there's kind of a flavour profile there that I'm not very familiar with, and so I want to try it. And I'm just looking to see if I can find something to show you, because, I mean, there we go. Spicy halloumi salad, come on. Love halloumi. Halloumi I'm very familiar with. So it's just saffron roast potatoes. Look at those. More beige. So I just picked this one up because, like I said, it was something that I wasn't very familiar with, and the idea behind it was kind of foods for gatherings and groups, and if you're entertaining and that kind of thing. So pick that one up. It's a good one so far. I haven't made anything from any of these books that I'm going to show you, but the pictures and the recipes in that one just sound amazing. Next one. This one isn't a cookbook, but I'm going to include it because of the author. So this is Mary Berry's Mary's Household Tips and Tricks. So this is one I picked up because I always aspire to have a cleaner house than I really have, and a more organised house than I really have. Obviously it's Mary Berry, so if you're in the UK, it's Mary Berry, and if you're not in the UK, she was the host until very recently of the Great British Bake Off, which I think you have over there as the Great British Baking Show, and she is effectively the closest thing I can describe her as for any Americans watching. She's kind of our Martha Stewart, just without the jail time or the massive conglomerate company. Does that make sense? Like, she isn't mega corporate, she hasn't done any insider dealing, she's kind of like your grandmother, and she makes great recipes and has been around forever. And this is just a book, as you'd expect, on keeping your house clean and tidy. It says here, your guide to happiness in the home. So it was one that I knew I had to have. It's potentially not going to teach me anything I don't already know, because I actually have a Martha Stewart one very similar to this that's like twice as thick. It's a huge book, and it's called something like The Homekeeper's Companion or something. It's like this huge like encyclopedia of stuff you should do in your house. But it's nice to have something that's got a bit more of a British angle to it, because there are some differences, not massively, but there are some differences just in terms of weather and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got that one when it came out 6 weeks or so ago. Next up, another one, and I have a few books. This is Nigella Lawson, and this is called At My Table, A Celebration of Home Cooking. I have a few of Nigella's books. I think she's great. I think she's another person who likes to eat real food, and that always makes me happy. And this is just some of her recipes that she eats at home, and I believe there is a TV show that goes with this. I'm not watching that. I wanted the book. And so there are great things like, and there are definitely things in here that I'm going to try, and this is really, it's kind of like comfort food. It's not heavy, stodgy comfort food necessarily, but it's the kind of thing that you would just want to eat at home. It is the slow roast 5-spice lamb that I absolutely need to eat because it sounds incredible. And I'm not even the biggest lamb fan, but I just like the idea that that would be like a Peking duck that you get in a Chinese restaurant, only with lamb. So excited to try that. And there's all, you know, all your typical Nigella type stuff, like sunken chocolate amaretto cake. Anyone? Anyone? So yeah, I grabbed that one when it came out. Again, that was a few weeks ago. And these have all just been sitting in a pile. And the last one, and the one I'm actually most excited about, and the one that I'm recommending to people left, right and centre because it's so beautiful, is this guy. This is The Christmas Chronicles by Nigel Slater. If you are, I think, of everybody I've spoken of, so Nigella you would be familiar with if you were in the States, I think. You're probably not familiar with Nigel Slater, but he's been around for a long time. He's written a lot of books, he's done a lot of TV shows, and he is... The best way for me to describe him is, there's a really good analogy I have personality-wise and sort of vibe-wise that I can use to describe Nigel Slater. If you think of Bob Ross, the painting guy, and you know how he has that real, like, chilled out, calm, relaxed kind of way about him, and nothing's a big deal and everything's just fine. That's Nigel Slater, only with food instead of paint. He is relaxed, and there's something very comforting about his books and about his TV series. And this guy, not only is it beautiful, and you can probably see, so it's like charcoal grey with this gorgeous copper foiling. So this, it says here, notes, stories and 100 essential recipes for midwinter. So essentially this is taking you from November to February, and it is stories, little anecdotes, recipes, advice on good candles to buy. There is just something incredibly comforting about this book, and it's one of those things that you just want to curl up somewhere cozy in the middle of winter and just read through it, and it's just lovely. The dates are the dates. The kind of sections of the book are dated. So I've got here November 30th of November, Christmas windows and a soft sweet cake. And there's a little story there and a recipe for banana cardamom cake, which sounds delicious. And so it is just a really lovely winter book, and I think this would be a really lovely gift if you know someone who is a foodie or just likes to be kind of cozy and curled up. Beautiful gift. And again, I picked this one up when it released. I actually had this one pre-ordered and that came out a couple of weeks ago as well. So that was all. I just wanted to run you through those, and if that's something of interest and you'd like me to do this if I buy books in future, then please leave me a comment and let me know. Also, if there's something else that you think I would like to read based on what you've seen here, or cookbooks that you'd recommend, please recommend me cookbooks because I love them. So yeah, that's all for this one. I will be back very soon with another video. I don't know what yet because I'm bulk filming and I'm gonna upload according to my mood. So there'll be more stuff to come. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.